Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fashion Meets History with Domii Davis. Did you know that fashion was instrumental in helping enslaved people escape during the 1800s? Well, now you know. Today's episode is all about Harriett Jacobs. Harriett Jacobs is known as a seamstress, abolitionist, and author, writing her own autobiography, which we'll get into a little later. Born in North Carolina in 1813, Jacobs escaped Eatonton, North Carolina in 1842. How did she do this? Well, she escaped by boat, but what's more important than the method of transportation is her outward appearance. Harriett Jacobs escaped by appearing to be and resemble a free woman, wearing the gowns given to her by previous owners or clients that they were done with and, kind of like gave as hand-me-downs because she worked as a seamstress and she pretty much was the person designing them and creating them for the people. When they were done, they sometimes gave them back to her as gifts. And she used these in her efforts to escape. Listen to the attention to her skill set and what she wore in her runaway notice. A $100 reward will be given for the apprehension and delivery of my servant girl, Harriett. She is a light mulatto, 21 years of age, about 5 feet 4 inches high, of a thick and corpulent habit, having on her head a thick covering of black hair that curls naturally, but which can be easily combed straight. She speaks easily and fluently and has an agreeable carriage and address. Being a good seamstress, she has been accustomed to dress well, has a variety of very fine clothes made in the prevailing, probably appear, if abroad, tricked out in gay and fashionable finery. As this girl absconded from the plantation of my son without any known cause or provocation, it is probable she designs to transport herself to the north. The above reward, with all reasonable charges, will be given for apprehending her or securing her in any prison or jail within the United States. All persons are hereby forewarned against harboring or entertaining her or being in any way instrumental in her escape, under the most rigorous penalties of the law. James Norcom. As you can see from the runaway notice, her skills and her detail and admiration for fashion were highly represented and extremely instrumental in her escape. The term tricked out in gay and fashionable finery really caught my attention. Like light, new, trendy, hot commodity type fashion and style. Jacobs didn't stop there. She reached New York, linking up with her brother, who was already a runaway, and eventually her daughter that she had with her owner, who was later sent to New York and then remained with her mother. While in New York, Harriett Jacobs worked a little bit as like a nurse and eventually started getting into the abolitionist movement and got friendly with some really impressive people like Frederick Douglass. As an abolitionist, she did a lot of work to try to help and spearhead freedom for all Black people and enslaved persons in the United States up until the Civil War. In 1861, she was encouraged to write her autobiography, which she titled Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. Ironically, it re-entered in the Civil Rights Movement and people thought it was a work of fiction, and later on it was proven to be a nonfiction written by Harriett Jacobs herself, which is where she gets the acclaim today. After her book was published and after the Civil War, Jacobs continued to work in activism for Black Americans and their freedoms and rights, and she continued to support herself by working as a seamstress, a lifelong skill that has supported many Black women in particular and helped them to achieve financial liberties and freedoms. This has been another episode of Fashion Meets History with Domii Davis. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Bye.